My wife Sophia walked back into our home after her date with her lover, wearing a smile as if nothing was amiss. But I greeted her with coldness, saying, "You got 10 minutes to sign the divorce papers and leave my house." What she didn't expect was for her lover's wife, who stepped in, setting the stage for a nightmare that would make her regret ever crossing me. When I first met Sophia, I was certain we had something special. She was captivating, intelligent, and driven. Everything I was looking for in a partner. We seemed to complement each other perfectly. Both of us worked in demanding fields. She was a financial consultant and I was an executive in luxury hospitality. Our careers kept us busy, but we understood one another's hectic schedules, or at least that's what I thought. The problem started off small. Sophia, who used to always make time for dinner with me, started working late more and more frequently. I convinced myself not to overanalyze it. After all, our industries were competitive. I trusted her. But then one evening, as we were sitting together watching TV, her phone buzzed. She grabbed it quickly, laughing nervously before muting it, and turned the phone face down on the table. "Who's that?" I asked, trying to sound casual. "Just a client," she answered, not looking me in the eye. "He's been a bit needy lately." Her response seemed reasonable, but her stiff shoulders and the way she gripped the phone told a different story. That night, doubt began to creep into my mind, and it wouldn't go away. Over the next few weeks, I began noticing more signs. Sophia's late nights seemed to line up with an increasing number of missed calls and texts, which she passed off as work emergencies. She became more distant, her warmth replaced by coldness. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong, so I decided to investigate. One Friday evening, after she left for yet another supposed client meeting, I took a look at her laptop. She had forgotten to log out of her email account, and what I found confirmed my worst fears. There were dozens of emails between her and a man named Adrian. These weren't just flirty messages. They were explicit, detailing plans to meet at upscale restaurants and boutique hotels. My stomach turned as I read through them. Adrian wasn't just any man. He was married. And worse, I'd met his wife before at one of Sophia's work events. The pieces started to fall into place. The stolen glances, the way they laughed at each other's jokes a little too much. It all made sense now, but I wasn't ready to confront her yet. I needed more. Over the next month, I became determined to uncover the truth. I hired a private investigator to follow Sophia and track her movements. The photographs and videos he gathered left no room for doubt. Sophia and Adrian were having an affair. But there was more. The investigator also discovered that Adrian's wife, Amal, had no idea about her husband's double life. The irony wasn't lost on me. Adrian, who had so boldly pursued my wife, had no idea that his own actions were about to unravel in a way that would destroy him. I reached out to Amal anonymously, sending her a package containing all the evidence I collected. I included a note that simply read, "You deserve to know the truth. Call me if you want to talk." A few days later, my phone rang. It was Amal. She was understandably devastated, but she wasn't the type to wallow in sorrow. We met for coffee at a quiet cafe where we laid everything out. Her husband's deceit, my wife's betrayal, the emotional toll it had taken on both of us. "I want to confront him," she said, her voice firm despite the tears glistening in her eyes. "But I want to do it in a way that he'll never forget." Her determination ignited something in me. "What if we confront them together?" I suggested. "They think they've gotten away with this. Let's show them they haven't." Amal smiled, the first smile I had seen from her that evening. "I like the way you think." For weeks, we meticulously planned a perfect confrontation. The stage was set for a Saturday night when Sophia had mentioned she'd be working late again. But this time I knew exactly where she'd be. At an upscale restaurant downtown with Adrian. Amal and I arrived early, securing a table in the corner where we could observe without being noticed. Sure enough, they walked in hand, laughing carelessly as if the world didn't exist. My anger surged, but I kept my composure. The timing had to be flawless. As their food arrived, Amal and I made our move. We walked directly to their table, and the panic that overtook their faces was more satisfying than I could have imagined. "Sophia," I said coldly, "you forgot to mention you'll be dining with Adrian tonight." "And Adrian?" Amal's voice dripped with disdain. "I see you've been keeping busy." The restaurant went dead silent as we stood there, the tension in the air almost unbearable. Sophia's face turned red as she stammered, "Jacob, I can explain." "You have plenty of time to explain," I interrupted, pulling a folder from my bag and placing it on the table. "Here are the divorce papers. You've got 10 minutes to sign them. Pack your things and get out of my house." "Divorce?" she echoed, as though the idea was foreign to her. "You're being ridiculous." "No, Sophia," I said, my tone steady. "What's ridiculous is thinking I wouldn't find out. What's ridiculous is you throwing away our marriage for this." Adrian tried to stand, but Amal placed a firm hand on his arm, forcing him back down. "You're not going anywhere, Adrian," she said. "We're far from finished." Then Amal pulled out a folder of her own, filled with damning evidence. "Your company's board will be receiving this on Monday," she said calmly. "Let's see how they feel about their CFO using company funds to wine and dine his mistress." Adrian's face drained of color. "You wouldn't?" "Oh, I would," Amal replied, her smile cold. "And I will." Sophia left that night with nothing but the clothes on her back. The next morning, I changed the locks and had her belongings sent to her parents' house. She called, texted, and even showed up at my office, but I refused to see her. Our divorce was finalized within months, and she walked away with far less than she'd expected. As for Adrian, his world fell apart swiftly. True to her word, Amal sent the evidence to his company's board, and he was fired within days. The affair became public, spreading quickly through their social circles. Amal filed for divorce soon after, and I later heard that Adrian was living in a rundown apartment, far from the lavish lifestyle he had once known. Amal and I stayed in touch, supporting each other as we rebuilt our lives. Over time, we found peace in knowing that we had taken control of a situation that could have torn us apart. Betrayal may break you, but it also reveals your strength. Sometimes the best form of revenge isn't just exposing the truth. It's ensuring that the ones who hurt you never forget the consequences of their actions. In the end, justice isn't solely about what you lose, it's about what you gain when you take your power.